None of that now, none of that. It's a bold, sinful man you are, Sean Thornton. And who taught you to be playing patty fingers in the holy water?
Just being polite, so...
Who is it? Maybe you don't know it's a privilege reserved for courting couples, and then only when the banns has been read. And Mary Kate Danaher dipping her fingers in as neat as you please.
What did you say her name was?
Mary Kate Danaher. And don't be getting any notions into your head.
Mary Kate.
Forget it, Sean, forget it. Put it out of your mind entirely.
Why? What's the matter? She isn't married or anything.
Happy St. Patrick's Day, and welcome to Insomnia Theater. I'm Paul Gannis. A retired American boxer returns to the village of his birth in 1920s Ireland, where he falls for a spirited redhead whose brother is contemptuous of their union in The Quiet Man, a 1952 American romantic comedy drama film directed by John Ford. The film stars John Wayne, Maureen O'Hara, and Barry Fitzgerald. It is the second of 5 movies that paired Wayne and O'Hara. Nominated for 7 Academy Awards, The Quiet Man won 2, Best Cinematography and Best Director for John Ford. This won Ford an unprecedented 4th Best Director Oscar. He had won previously for The Informer, The Grapes of Wrath, and How Green Was My Valley. Ford also won the Directors Guild of America Award, along with assistant director Wingate Smith, for outstanding directorial achievement in motion pictures, all part of the film's 11 wins and 8 nominations. The Quiet Man was something of a departure for Wayne and Ford, who were both known mostly for westerns and other action-oriented films. It was also a departure for Republic Pictures, which backed Ford in what was considered a risky venture at the time. It was the only time that the studio, which was known for low-budget B movies, had released a film that would receive an Oscar nomination for Best Picture. The film was also a financial success, grossing $3.8 million in its first year of release. This was among the top 10 grosses of the year. It was also the 7th most popular film for British audiences in 1952. Ford read the story in 1933 and soon purchased the rights to it for a whopping $10. The story's author was paid another $2,500 when Republic bought the idea, and he received a final payment of $3,750 when the film was actually made. Republic Pictures agreed to finance the film with O'Hara and Wayne starring and Ford directing, but only if all 3 agreed to first film a Western with Republic. They did, and after completing Rio Grande, they headed for Ireland to start shooting. One of the conditions that Republic placed on Ford was that the film's total runtime was under 2 hours. However, the finished picture was 2 hours and 9 minutes. When screening the film for Republic executives, Ford stopped the film at approximately 2 hours in, on the verge of the climactic fistfight. Republic executives relented and allowed the film to run its full length. It was one of the few times that Republic filmed in Technicolor. Most of the studio's other color films were made in a more economical process known as True Color. The film employed many actors from the Irish theater, including Barry Fitzgerald's brother, Arthur Shields, as well as extras from the Irish countryside, and it is one of the few Hollywood movies in which the Irish language can be heard. Filming commenced on June 7, 1951. All of the outdoor scenes were shot on location in Ireland, in County Mayo and County Galway. The interior scenes were filmed toward the end of July at Republic Studios in Hollywood. Vaughn Corrigan reported that Ford made considerable efforts to get the costumes correct for the period, with O'Mail, the original House of Style in Galway, tasked with sourcing the costumes. John Wayne said that the role of Sean Thornton, now considered one of his best, was difficult for him, saying, "For 9 weeks, I was just playing the straight man to those wonderful characters, and that's really hard." If you look closely, you can see that while all the other saddled horses are seen with English saddles, as would be expected in Ireland during that time period, John Wayne's character, Sean, his horse is saddled with a U.S. Army-issue McClellan cavalry saddle. The Quiet Man was Maureen O'Hara's favorite of her films. She did her own singing in the film. It is alleged that when she passed away in 2015, she did so listening to Victor Young's score to the film. During filming of one of the takes of the scene where John Wayne first kisses Maureen O'Hara, she slaps his face. When he blocked the blow, she broke a bone in her hand. Since the movie was being filmed in sequential order, She couldn't wear a cast to fix the broken bone. And in the scene where Wayne discovers O'Hara in his cottage, the wind whipped her hair so ferociously around her face she kept squinting. John Ford screamed at her in the strongest language to open her eyes. "What would a bald-headed son of a bitch know about hair lashing across his eyeballs?" she shot back. O'Hara, a real trooper, had no double for the scene where John Wayne drags her across the fields back to the village and got badly bruised by the rough terrain. In one interview, John Wayne said that the final fight scene was stylized to make it seem more interesting. The fighters used long, swinging, roundhouse punches rather than the economical short punches a real prize fighter would use. This was said to be John Ford's favorite film. He considered it his sexiest picture. In 1952, A.H. Weller of the New York Times viewed the film as darling a picture as we've seen this year, with dialogue that is as tuneful as a lark's song. In another contemporary review, the entertainment trade paper Variety called the picture beautifully filmed and wrote that Wayne works well under Ford's direction, but found the 129-minute running time unnecessary. Harrison's reports described the film as a delightful and rollicking comedy melodrama of Irish life, directed with skill and acted with gusto by a fine cast. Richard L. Coe of the Washington Post declared it a complete Jim dandy. The photography is glorious, and Victor Young's score, inspired by folk airs, is a complete joy for an exuberant, vigorous picture. Until next time, this is Paul Gannis. May your day be touched by a bit of Irish luck, brightened by a song in your heart, and warmed by the smiles of the people you love. May the sun stay on your face and the wind at your back. The popcorn's hot. Enjoy the film.
Gentlemen, if you please, this is a private fight. The Marquis of Queensberry rules will be observed on all occasions.
The Marquis of Queensberry rules, mind you now, Squire.
Okay with me, Michelin.